What is going on, everyone? We are back with another review, and we are reviewing Season 1, Episode 11 of... Oh, bye, Seffi. Season 1, Episode 11 of Welcome to Paradox, and the episode was called Options. This was directed by John Grayson, written by John Varley and Scott Frost, and released October 26th, 1998. Before we continue, please remember there is no more Patreon for the time being. We will possibly bring it back if there's interest expressed later for something of that nature. So the cast consists of Dee Harlan Cutshaw as the bartender, Edward Diaz as a receptionist, Justin Lazard as Leo Lawson, Chris Logan as Dr. Marion Charles, Cindy Mason as Janice, Robert Maloney as Jules Lawson, Venus Sood as Faith, Nancy Sorrell as Cleo Lawson, and Jill Need as Nora. To kind of give you guys a quick review of this, and I guess this part kind of annoys me, if I'm being 100% honest. I'm not a fan of the fact that we just got like basically back-to-back episodes where somebody's cheating. I'm curious if that's not why Amazon split them up into where they were. However, so in the beginning, we start off with a husband and his wife getting ready for their daily routine. The husband leaves, wife's getting ready to leave for a lunch. And while she's waiting for her friends to show up for lunch at a restaurant, she sees her husband outside meet up with a woman, and they're kissing and in each other's arms, and she gets upset, reasonably so. So then they go and she goes to the lunch. She has the lunch with her friends, and one of the friends reveals that they are changed, or they went through a changer, changee. I think they called it a changer. And basically, it is a trans is what they basically turn into, but a full on like legit turns into a woman legit can turn into a man type thing, right? And one of the ladies you find out who's been a friend of these two ladies that are best friends is a changer, and basically tells her that she should at least give it a try if she's done feeling like being a woman is being helpful. So she goes to the place where it can happen, and they show her what she could look like, and she says she doesn't know if that's something that she actually wants to do. And the guy pretty much tells her, he's like, hey, how about we just do a breast reduction? You can wear that for a couple of days, and maybe that'll help you change your mind when you get home. Maybe your husband will change his tune and everything. So she goes home, husband comes home, she shows him, and it's just man peck type, just pecs basically. And he's not thrilled about it. He's actually kind of pissed, and this kind of pissed me off because I'm like, dude, you're cheating, and you're mad about what she's doing. So he gets mad and walks off. She confronts him out there, where he goes, and is like, I saw you with the other lady, and he's like, I'll quit talking to her, and she's like, I just want you to talk to me. Like, it's the only reason I'm considering this is I want you to actually talk to me like you would another guy. And he was like, no, not gonna happen. So he gets mad and leaves and says he'll be gone for a little while. So while he's gone, she goes and gets the full change. As a guy meets up with her husband, and they have a conversation before the husband realizes who he is now, and he gets mad and leaves. So meets up with the changer woman that she'd had lunch with the day before, and then they kind of hit it off. They go home and get it on, and both of them, especially the lady that turned into a guy, it's like, it's funny because she's like, it's so weird because it's like the feeling is centralized instead of all over. And then the next morning, they're woken up by the sound of her husband getting home and bringing home a girl. And it's the girl from earlier in the episode. And they all agree to go out to breakfast together. So they go out for breakfast. And at this point, the two guys walk off and go to the bathroom to pee and start to have a conversation. And it's like a legit, just regular conversation the guys would have. And it's the closest she's felt to him in a very long time. And he gets all weirded out, and they're about to kiss, and he gets weirded out and leaves. So she meets up with her best friend, and her best friend is basically like, hey, they kind of have a conversation on why that she decided to change. And then the lady that she had slept with runs into her husband at the bar and basically tells him, like, have you ever considered maybe you should change as well and meet her halfway with this? And he says no. And after a few days, she decides she's going to change back into who she was for her husband. And she overhears her husband in the clinic before she's about to change back, asking for options. And she walks out and she's like, I guess things aren't going to be normal, are they? And they both smile at each other, and the episode ends. Not a big fan with the way it ended, if I'm being 100% honest. Wow. This is going to probably be overall on the lower end of episodes overall for me because, again, it's the cheating thing that I'm not a big fan of. I don't necessarily need that in my storytelling constantly. I know it happens a lot. It shouldn't, but it does. It is what it is. And then the ending. Obviously, they heavily imply that he goes ahead and gets the change, so they basically just swap roles. But, like, I don't know if that's... I guess, like I said, it's just heavily implied. It's not proven. It's not fact. That's all you can really guess. And yeah, so that's that. It's an okay episode. It's an okay episode. Like I said, it's going to end up being at the somewhat lower end of my picks, whenever we get there, but it's not the worst. We'll say that. So that is going to do it for this, guys. Thank you all for watching the review. Join us next time for another episode of Twilight Zone. And in a couple days, we'll be back to Welcome to Paradox. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.